Um, we it was a team loss. I mean, we did some things that I thought were going to be important in the game in terms of won the first half. They'd been much better when they started fast. Technically, we won third down, but it was negligible. I would imagine we probably won the field position battle. Our hunter did a nice job, but in the end of ends, we were not consistent enough on offense, and we gave up some big plays on defense. So those things are going to hurt us. Questions?
To what degree did Vasco make a difference, and did you prepare for him? Were you surprised that he was the starter?
I mean, we knew he was going to play, and I thought he executed their offense. They did a nice job of giving him a chance to be successful, and played well.
Talk about the offense being consistent out of the locker room. Started humming. What changed after that second touchdown?
We just didn't play consistent enough. Didn't play with enough technique. And it's little things. I mean, you might miss a throw here. You might, the ball on the ground there. Set slightly wrong to offensive line. When and this is on me, 100%. When things started to go the wrong way, we just did not respond the way we needed to. Now, obviously, we went down and kicked the field goal in the last one, but we just didn't respond the way we needed to.
Are you concerned about the penalties? There seem to be a lot more penalties than normal for your team. Very disciplined on normal game week.
I'm not concerned about the penalties from a discipline standpoint, because if you look at them, they're not disciplined. They're not really discipline type penalties. They're not pre and post snap penalties. They are in the heat of the moment, where maybe our technique gets out of whack and we get a penalty because of that. So I'm not necessarily concerned about discipline in terms of that. But over the last 4 weeks, we have had a lot of penalties, particularly when it's.
I noticed Xavier Black was in street clothes today, and then Chris Chernak as well. How is the offensive line at this point in the season?
Yeah, nice week of the year. Guys are going to battle, and no one's going to be 100%. So guys are going to battle through, and we got one of the best trainers in the country, and we'll get them ready.
How's Grant?
He's fine. I thought he played tough.
You guys have faced adversity before. This is a tough way to lose. You guys bounce back from this like they have before.
Yeah, we have no choice. We have no choice. It's funny. Everyone always says that. It's like, oh, this is a tough loss. Or I've never been a part of an easy loss. So I feel one of our core values is compete, and another one is care. So every game that you lose, you should feel like you've been absolutely gutted. If it doesn't, if you're okay with it because maybe you didn't have the impact on the game that you thought you should have, or you didn't play as much as you should have, or you didn't, or you think you have more time, or whatever the insert illogical reason here, then you're never going to be successful. And you should feel gutted. So I know I do. And so I'm going to come back and I'm going to battle, and so is everybody else. Got guys in that room who deserve my best effort, deserve my best mentality, and I deserve everybody else's. So that's what we're going to get.
You feel there was a turning point or tipping point in the game when you were up 15 in the third quarter?
Yeah, I thought the reality of it is they kept fighting, and yes, we were up 15 in the third quarter. I understand. It's an accurate statement, but they literally scored on the first play of the next drive or second play of the next drive or whatever it was. So it's not like we were up for 15 in the third quarter for 20 plays. I thought they kept fighting and they kept competing the whole game as well. So I thought our defense, did some things there in the first half to stymie some red zone possessions, and obviously that was a big factor in the game. And they played better in the red zone in the second half. Their offense did, and that was credit their coaching staff and credit their offensive players for that.
Talked about in the past the willingness to prepare enough to be hurt in these situations when you have these one-score games that go one way. How do you keep these guys focused on not letting that hurt absorb them too much when you've had so many of these games that could have gone?
Well, I think that's maybe one of the differences between college coaching and the NFL. And I know, a number of factors have pushed things more towards the NFL model, and that's great. The reality of it is we still have 18 to 23, 24-year-old men who are still in the process of developing who they are as people. So one of my jobs is to continue the work that their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their coaches have done in order to continue to help them develop into the type of people who are going to lead this country into an era of prosperity. And guess what? Part of that is investing and doing that sort of thing. And you're going to get hurt. And I guess that's the thing, that this is even a better teaching point maybe than last week, because, if you get hurt and you bounce back, you're not guaranteed to win because you invested again. Right? You might get hurt again. And so that's where, like I said, you got to draw a line in the sand, and you got to, put your chest out and say no more. So, and we've got to do that, and it's my job to teach these young men that, and it's their job to be coachable.
Taking into account, what we're right for you guys today and what we're wrong for you guys today, what's the emphasis going into Liberty for next week?
I just felt like there was a few too many times where we just were, even there, the things that the fan wouldn't see. I mean, there was even some times we had some, we might get a TFL and we were misaligned badly. We might throw a completion but we were on the wrong side of, we weren't executing the play correctly and that sort of thing. So we've got to make sure that we're, process oriented, not results oriented. Right now, I feel like we're a little bit of results oriented, where a good play gets us all jacked up. A good play tells us we did well, and a bad play tells us we didn't. And that's not necessarily the way it is. So we've got to make sure that we get that coached, and I've got to make sure that I get that coached to the coaches too.
Did you see anything in practice this week that led to that?
No, I mean, there's a number of different things, and I find myself as a head coach sometimes you know when you go back after a loss, right? You can say to yourself, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. I need to be mature enough and have the ability to truly evaluate something to say, okay, well, did some of these same things happen on weeks where we won and played really well, right? You understand what I'm saying? And so I didn't see anything in practice. I mean, it's hard with 116 players. It's hard to have a perfect week. Guy misses a class here or is late here or whatever, and sure you can look back at those and be like, oh, that's the reason. But the reality of it is we've probably had that in weeks we've won as well.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you guys.